Hello again and welcome to our conservation project on Arran Street East. And before we show you the largely completed shop front that's lurking there behind the scaffolding, let's take a quick look back at what we've achieved over the past few weeks and some of the discoveries that we've made along the way. So throughout all of these works here on the first floor, we've been gradually exposing the original design of this mid-18th century building, and this has been, I suppose, best illustrated by the fact that underneath the 1840s Roman cement shop front is the surviving vestiges of windows. So you can see this window head here, which we were very conscious to keep. So the splayed brick of the flat arch, you can see clearly peeping above the Roman cement there. So that'll be nicely exposed. So that's one window, which ties in exactly with the window directly above. And then as you move along the shop front, we're pretty confident that there was a window here in the middle, responding to the middle window directly up here. But there's no evidence surviving here today. It was messed around so much in the 20th century. And then the third window at the very far end of the building, sure enough, down here, now that the Roman cement and also later alterations have been removed, you can see the line of the third window that was originally at this level before the Roman cement and the big 1840s window was put in underneath. And sure enough, you can even just about make out the splayed brick. Isn't that nice? The very end of the window head that extended from here probably over to there. And then what's particularly nice, we've just after revealing this whole area of brick where there was modern 1960s 70s cement, we've taken it off, revealed the 1750s brick, and sure enough there's even the line of the house which is now demolished, the matching house. In fact, there was 3 houses along this site from all built in the 1750s, our own house here at the back, and then a house next door that was 13 feet wide according to lease documentation, and then a third house that occupied the site at the back. And this house was demolished, we think, about 100 years ago, probably in the 1920s or 30s, and this is the sole surviving ghost of that, which is the window opening that perfectly matches the window opening over here. They're centered on the party wall. So we're going to try and keep this in some shape or form as part of the design detail of the Roman cement at this level. And here is that same area today with the brick fully pointed up. You can see the lovely sharp irises of the brick that we've managed to keep on the Georgian window reveal there, which should be readable in the overall facade. You can see the brick here is a lot sharper, but also a lot more polluted than the brick on the upper facade, for the simple reason that we had to remove the pebble dash from there. So the brick had to be cleaned of paint and then it had to be repaired using a coloured stopping mortar. But down below it's much more intact. It was shielded underneath the 1840s Roman cement that's underneath. So we've decided to actually take this approach of leaving some areas of the Georgian brick exposed. Generally it's a method that's generally not supported in conservation, but in this case so much of the plaster has been missing for many years, such as down here where a Georgian window was revealed. So we decided that we'll keep this exposed and also this area above in order to provide an interpretation for the building and to show how the original 1750s construction was modified when the 1840s Roman cement was layered over. So the Roman cement that you can see here on the left hand side, the really beautiful job that Nolan's group have done in reinstating the full entablature of this classically inspired shop front with the signage fascia below and then the moulded string course above. This is a moulding that's very typical of 1830s, 1840s shop fronts in Dublin. That's the original moulding there, and then you can see where the new reproduction moulding has been run in exactly to match where it had been hacked out about 100 years ago. And you can also see down below where the original architrave of the shop window, the massive shop window, still survives, and Nolan's have managed to stitch in the missing parts along here and then up at the top corners you can see, and then running the entire length all the way back to again where you can see it ties in with the original fabric below. And back up on the string course, it's worth looking at just how the reinstatement was undertaken. You can see this process here where first of all The area is secured with a framework of stainless steel bars, which provides support for the overhanging string course. And then this is Chris, who's using the closest modern equivalent for Roman cement, which is prompt natural cement, packing it out to form the original profile of the string course, and is built up in sections. And then on the lower facade as well, you can see just how much the Roman cement there has changed. The fine line and ruled fake ashlar effect was covered in paint, so all that paint has been stripped to reveal the new finish. And also you can see the original biscuity texture here of the Roman cement, which is quite different, I suppose, to the modern Roman cement mix, but it's the closest that we have to match in today. So Nolan's really have brought so much of the facade back to life again that it was lurking under all those later layers of alteration. And down here, ground floor level, again, you can see the same approach taken to pointing up the original 1750s brickwork, leaving exposed one of the Georgian windows. You can see the window ope itself is filled in with 1840s brick, which we've pointed up in a slightly darker mortar so that it doesn't stand out. The salt's coming through that at the moment, but it will darken down. And the same over here, we have an 18th century brick pier, and then we've another blocked up window here underneath the windowsill. And the sill itself was reinstated also by Nolan's, again similar to the string course above, with metal reinforcements. And then this stunner, the reinstated 1840s shopfront. The window itself, which was put in by Lamb's Tongue for us about 2 weeks ago in all its glory. We've struck all the mouldings from one of the last surviving large-scale shop windows in Dublin on Molesworth Street, next to White's Gallery, a little cafe, and it features these exact glazing bars, which are flat close to the glass, and then they taper into a point. We have scattered in about half the panes are hand-blown cylinder glass and float glass, and then toughened glass in the lower panes. So what was once commonplace on pretty much every trading street in the city, particularly minor streets like Church Street or Mary's Lane or Bridge Street, is now reinstated here on Arran Street East. And you can see the pretty mottled effect of the repairs that were undertaken to the Roman cement, including these cracked areas here that were infilled, and the evidence of the stainless steel ties that give a very good strong mechanical bond through to the brickwork behind, because a lot of it was quite hollow sounding, and a lot more hollow sounding than that. That has now bonded it back to the brickwork, but as a result it's pretty much a patchwork quilt, including the new Roman cement over the shop front. So we're now looking at lime wash, and you can see two samples that we've done here, and we're plumping for this one, the darker tone, which is a better match for the slightly pinkier biscuity tone of the original Roman cement, but also it's a good tie-in with a good complementary partner to the red brick of the 1750s above and of the 1840s brickwork of the front building. So hopefully in the next few days we'll have a very different looking shop front presenting itself to Arran Street East.